brothers.
So the question is, when it comes time for the end of the world, how many possums do you need on hand to make it through?
Oh, shit.
Oh, well,
One for each day of the week, easy.
I don't know. They're not, I mean,
Depends on how much they poop.
that and then, let's see. Some of them get to about 10 pounds. So,
That's a lot of possum poop.
yeah.
How many people can a 10-pound possum feed?
How much possum could a possum
I
if
mean,
a possum could chuck possum?
this guy would be definitely some soup. That's about it. You couldn't
Possum
get it.
stew.
Yeah, possum stew. What do you think?
Would you
bud?
make a possum skin cap to keep your head warm on those cold winter nights?
This little guy?
That would only be one ear muff.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I could kill a possum. I could kill the other animals.
I don't know. If you do kill him, all you got to do is cut a hole in his ass and pull all the guts out and make a dick warmer.
That's what your dick warmers look like when you look at it.
Well, think about it. That's a head sticking out of the head. And be like, ah!
Oh my god.
That'd be pretty cool. A pretty cool condom. A possum condom. Now imagine that.
God almighty. No. You don't
them-
want
Mrs. Johnny Ray's going to be like, never, ever again will you bring Buddy to one of your
no
talk
kidding.
shows.
Poor
I
fella.
think it's pretty funny.
You just turned him into a prophylactic.
Well, if I don't, who will?
Well, that's a good point.
Let's see.
So when is the time coming that we got to be prepped for? How much time do you think we got before?
Well, shit, it could be anywhere between 5 minutes from now and 50 years from now.
It could. It could be a never.
It could be.
Or it all could be metaphorical.
You know, so I can tell you, growing up, my family, they were all Pentecostal, fundamental Pentecost, and every day was the end of days.
Dancing with snakes in the whole shooting match.
It didn't have. We're just short of the poisoning snakes, not poisoning snakes, but poison and snakes.
Well, biblically speaking, we've been in end times ever since Christ
Well,
came
and
and left again.
well, and that goes along to the other part that when I was playing that gig, church gig for so long, they talked about the four horsemen apocalypse, and it's like started talking about. Yeah,
The four horsemen of apocalypse.
apocalypse.
Pocky lip.
The apocalypse. It's Asian.
I
Is
bet that was Middle Eastern. A pocky lip.
Apocalypse.
No?
Maybe.
All right.
Well, I said apocalypse.
A Pakistan.
Anyway, a Pakistan.
Well, he's Asian anyway.
Well, and the thing is that when they talked about it, they said we are already living in that time because
How convenient.
because they
Of course we are.
talked about the famine and the disease, and it's like this was what AIDS was the thing.
Yeah, I know.
You've heard it.
Yeah, anally injected death sentence.
Yeah, and so we're already living in those times. It's just that timeline is different because
and rumors of wars.
yeah, and I mean we hear we lived wars. We heard the rumors of wars, and now it's another.
Now there's wars. Russia and Ukraine is a wars, and there's rumors of wars where
U.S. and China and
Putin is not going to take it, and he's going to enact his revenge against
The Russian leader Putin.
Putin. Yeah,
Putin Tang.
but
Dear General
it's
Putin.
like we've been, based on what I've been raised up with, we've been living in the biblical times since I was 8
Well,
years
the
old.
last 2 or 3 years anyway. Because
at least
No,
last-
I know for me, it's at least the last 8, or since I'm 8 years old, because that's when that was first introduced to me.
At least
It was
the
like-
last 2023 years.
Ha 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 ha. Ain't funny. Ain't funny, fella. Ain't
So
funny,
that's the
funny.
question, though. I mean, prepping has become an incredibly large business industry now.
It's a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle. And, homesteading, there's also homesteading,
Right.
which I fall into that category. I mean, I'm not
Correct.
prepping for anything.
Because you don't
but
have to.
I am working to become independent of any
Right.
I would
business to help me live my life. So
at my place, if I wanted to do a bunker, I'd have to go across the street and up the hill. Because if I did it in the backyard, not only would I screw up my
the
septic
neighbors
tank,
would turn you in.
the neighbors would rat me out. And every time it flooded, all I'd do is have a flooded bunker.
Tommy's out there doing it again in the backyard.
Yeah. They pitch a fit when I put my crew serve weapon on the back of the deck, shooting down towards the dock. So rude.
You right-wing white Christian
Yeah.
male 50-plus-year-old bastard.
Veteran
Tattooed,
cocksucker.
white beard,
Inked up, just full of free, independent thought.
wearing your American flag.
So in your prepping in your prepping toolbox, what goes into your prepping toolbox? If you're going to be a prepper, what do you put in there? What do you prep? What are you prepping for?
Well, I'm concerned about the first 5 days because,
Of what? What causing the first 5 days?
well, whether it's weather or
Because you got to pick one.
no,
You can't
have
prep for
multiple.
all of them. You can't prep for all of them.
No.
Each one requires something different.
Correct. You're right about that, but you can.
An
Not-
EMP, what are you going to do if there's an EMP?
Well, it's like I
If there's
told you-
a big flood, well, the supply chain gets cut off. What are you going to do for that?
Okay.
There's all different things you got to prep for. A war, we get invaded. That's a completely different thing.
Okay, well, hold on.
no, you
Okay,
said
I'm
don't
sorry.
don't
I'm
sharp.
sorry.
You're throwing a lot out there. And you
Well, I know, but you can't just
You
say
can't-
I'm prepping for everything. You can't.
Okay, but let him finish.
I disagree in the fact
right.
that you've got baselines, whether it's weather based or supply chain based or war based. There's an outage, so you're prepping against the outage, whether it's food, water, bullets, whatever. I'm more concerned from where I'm at as the powers that be decide I'm an anachronism and need to be gone. They need to make me go away. So they'll come and they'll ruin me financially. Then they'll come and try to take my place or whatever.
But wait, what got us to this point again? Tell me again. Where the government wants to take you out?
some kind of follow. So you could be as simple as just wrong side of the government. Now it's Blue Ridge all over again.
Okay.
So
Ruby Ridge,
Ruby Ridge, Blue Ridge, Ruby Ridge, whatever.
Waco.
I conflated two issues. Conflated.
Well,
So
I'm just saying now you're taking a different thing. That's a different extreme stance to be prepping for.
that's
now,
my,
what
my
if-
headspace is I know the government's no good, so I know the government's after me, so I'm gonna stack my deck, get my resources against fending off.
Okay, what if
An
the
adversary.
scenario has nothing to do with the government and as an entity has attacked us and shut down our infrastructure, whether
Just-
it be
it's the
transportation,
same
electrical.
premise.
Well, the government's not coming after you.
Well, I'm just using that as an example. Allegedly.
I'm using a different example.
Okay. And
So now you have no electricity and no supply
if
chain.
it's an EMP and it's an EMP, whether the Chinese or the Russians blew up something in orbit, or it's a coronal mass ejection and it's chewed up all the satellites, CME.
And so the grid's down, basically.
The end result's the same.
Are you prepped for
The
that?
grid's down. Yeah.
Okay. What
So-
constitutes being prepped for that?
Being able to generate my own heat, my own light, being able to cook, being able to drink water, being able to eat food, being able to sleep inside.
Are you
Wow.
prepped for that?
Having power for the EMP? No. That's so. Prepping the way I view it, it's like I don't care what it really is. The result needs to be the same on my end, as I need to be able to take care of me and Mrs. Johnny Ray for as long as I have to get from point A to point B. or wherever that may be, or whether it's a 3-day, 3-week, 3-month, 3-year. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
You got
but-
you got to give yourself enough time to assess the situation
Right,
and know
and-
whether you have to move or not move.
Right, and that's all judged in the moment. You can't decide any of that until that scenario and that thing
Right.
happens. Because
Allegedly.
yeah, and so, but
And
the thing
we-
is first of all, I need water and food, sustain, heat, shelter. You know,
Right.
those are the things that I know I need. So those are the things that I know I need to have. First aid, having those things
Individual
available.
first aid kits.
Yes,
yeah.
and being able to have that accessible, because it's not if something happens, it's when something happens. Do I have the means to take care of it, mitigate the situation, to move on? You know, so that's the way I see it. And regardless of what the scenario is, and as if for an EMP, if that actually happened, I wouldn't be in a situation where I could, other than get on the motorcycle and go. That's the only thing I
Yeah,
got.
but go to where? You have
Yeah.
to, you have to have a where. You have to know.
Well, I
what
have
that
an
next
idea.
step
I have my places I want to go.
is. To Dwayne's point, man, I am tired today. Sorry,
You ain't done shit.
Sorry, Dwayne. I ain't done shit.
No, but to sum it up for me, it's like I need to have my food, water, fire, shelter. Those are the things I need right away. You know,
To give you the time to assess the situation, know what your next steps.
even if it's going down the road and getting in a culvert and sitting there and figuring it out for a day or two.
Well,
you know,
it depends. Yeah, it depends on how in depth your scenario that you're training against is going to be. So it may be something as simple as enough gasoline and water and food to get you out of the urban area and into a rural area that's relatively safe. And
Yeah, I just picked
well
up-
off the beaten path.
I'm talking about fuel. I just picked up a 369 jerry cans, 20 liters, and I'm going to have fuel in. So it's like, as I find it, it's like good deal. It's like, yep, fill it up full of fuel, fill it up full of water, whatever. Anyways, go ahead.
Zombie apocalypse, Chinese invasion, it's all the same thing.
Exactly.
You got a whole bunch of something coming at you wanting to take your stuff, whether they want to eat you or steal your guns. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, I know everything, so doesn't
you?
matter.
well, in line.
I don't like to go into too much detail, but these are things we talk off air about. But I mean, you need. I think it's interesting, when preppers talk about their bug out sack, their grab and go bag. What do you call it?
Bug out.
Bug out bag.
Yeah, your go bag, your shit hits
But,
the fan bag.
And they go and they have a safe place that they need to get to.
Their
And they go
immediate
and they
pla-
stock up that place with stuff, and
Right.
then somebody comes in behind them when they're not looking and steals it
their
all.
Shit. Right. That's
Well, and that's one of those things that I see videos of people, like they're putting caches of like a food source, like a barrel with food and shit in it, and they bury it out someplace, and it's like, I mean, the way this area is growing, I can go put out something, and within a month it's going to be gone because construction's coming in. They're going to build houses, and they're going to find it. It's like,
Well, unless you own it,
and yeah.
Unless
and
you
they have
own
no
it.
right to do something to it.
yeah, but still, I mean, I want to buy this little. Can I buy this little spot this sign's going to sit on?
Well, you could apply the Sergeant Major Plumley rule, and I don't need a gun right now because when I do need one, there'll be plenty on the ground. So you can think of it that way. I would rather be proactive and have multiple outs, multiple scenarios for getting out, whether it's food, water, guns, ammo. I know for a fact everything that I've got in my current setup is impossible to move quickly. So I would have to get a trailer, as we proved earlier. It requires a large trailer and a large vehicle to move it.
Time.
and time, and it's not sneaky. And if there's highway pirates or whatever, then there's just an on and on and on. Unless you've got enough space that gives you a buffer between you and something else, you know.
Well, there's a lot of thought process, and a lot of thought has to go into like figure out from where I'm at to my point A or my point B, C. You know, it's like, okay, here's my contingencies. It's like I have to figure out what's the safe route to take, because the high road is not always the best road to take.
Right.
You know.
And you're stuck in town.
It would be fast, but it may not be the most safest, because there's going to be plenty of people stuck, and you know,
yeah, the congestion on the highways,
people running out of this, that, panic. You know, next thing you know, you become a statistic. You know,
right? So your part of your planning process needs to be treating your home base as a temporary perimeter and a launch point to get to your next safest stay point, so that you can assess what your next moves need to be from there.
And sometimes, it may not be, you know, getting out may not be the best thing to do for a while. You may have to you may wind up having to dig in and stay.
So do you have World War Z zombies, or do you have deep impact Chinese assaulting? I mean, it just all depends on what
We're
you're
gonna have a bunch
trying
of
to do.
blue-haired freaky fuckers coming in.
Oh, I'm not worried. Antifa is
Those
gonna
little
be-
old ladies.
Well, they're not old. They're more of the young, you know. Young
Oh, you're
kids.
not talking about like those old church ladies, blue-haired church ladies. Okay.
No,
I am.
I'm not concerned about them at all.
I am.
Yeah.
They would lecture me to death.
Well, from my perspective, I've got a couple of highways that I need to be very leery about, because there's a lot of bridges, and if the bridges go, I'm stuck.
Yep.
I can't get out, and the rivers are dammed, so I can't. It's not.
You got
I
to
can't use a water
short
escape.
avenue. That's it.
Yeah. So if I don't gauge what I'm doing correctly, I'm going to end up screwing myself into a nice little die-in place.
I would just like to have a spot and have it like an old like a Bell 47 helicopter, you know, a little one, and just go have it sitting at its barn, get to there, and then get off the ground and go. You know, I can get high enough and far enough down that I don't have to worry about somebody, because there's going to be so much chaos down on the
Right.
ground level. They're not going to give a shit about what's going overhead,
Yeah, you're going to
because I'm small.
You're going to have to get away from the urban areas.
You got to get out fast.
What type of fuel do those need to run on?
You can do it with 100 low lead. You can put unleaded gasoline. Yeah.
So now you're going to buy an Iroquois or a Loach?
Me? No. No. I'm in a shelter in place.
Yeah. If I could get one, I would. Because it's
Where I am, that's where I'll be making my last stand. If I go out, I'm going out right there.
Yeah, I haven't decided how I'm going to pull it off yet. I've got some other distractions I have to settle out. And if it gets to a point that I can't get resources, i.e. I can't get meds, so whether it's Robitussin or penicillin or high blood pressure meds or whatever the case, if I can't get those, then that is a decision factor I have to tie into exactly how far am I going to move to get safety. Or am I going to just stay here and have a nice time picking dumbasses off?
That's
in purple-haired ass come down.
And so, and as for like medications and stuff like that, it's like I've been there's medications that I take or should take that I don't take. You know, if I don't take them, I just keep them. I stockpile it.
That's where I'm at right now. I stopped taking all my meds. I don't stop acquiring them.
Correct. You refill it. Just refill it.
refilling.
Refill it. It's like, do I need this? You know, it's like misgenerate. Do you really need this? No. Yes. Just keep hitting refill. You get it, because there may come a time you know if I don't need it,
Yeah,
I
'cause
have
you-
it. I have it for somebody else.
50 pounds of Viagra, you could use it as currency.
You probably could. But your energy source, what are we looking at there?
Oh, I was going to burn all the dead bodies.
That'll keep you warm. Fat burns pretty hot.
It does burn hot.
Because, you know, there's...
Can't do it in the house. though.
America's a lot of fatties, so...
Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah.
do it in the house because then you get the fat gets into the.
You got to do it
sheetrock.
outside. You
Yeah,
got to do it
gotta
outside.
cook it outside. Render them down. I've seen that movie. I watched Motel Hell. I know how they make that.
Jerky.
Jerky in the country.
That
ham.
was so. There's not many people that know about that movie.
That's a great
You know,
movie.
it is.
It's hilarious. Motel Hell, Low.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, they buried them in the backyard
yeah.
while they were
and
still alive.
cut
There's
the
little
vocal-
heads.
Cut their vocal folds. They feed them with the, force feed them with the funnel, and then when it's time to farm them, pull them out with the damn tractor.
Yep.
After they cured.
Made some fine country ham.
Mmm. People come and eat there. It's delicious. I love it. What is
So-
this?
And allegedly,
It's a secret recipe.
it's a family recipe. And that guy was a Western hunk.
Oh, yeah?
That actor, yeah.
I don't remember the actors. I just remember the movies. It was quite disturbing back in the day.
Yeah.
Especially when that tractor reared up. It's like they popped it on there. Bloop.
Craziness.
Yippers.
But you can use ammo to trade with, so it becomes a currency.
Yeah.
So you turn lead into gold.
I'm talking about, power. If it's an EMP and you need power, and then, depending on if you've got like a generator, you have to have fuel for it, unless you do something solar. But solar only does so much, so you got to be careful there, and you still need the sun. And if the government has blocked out the sun, because that's what Biden's been talking about, is blocking out the sun to limit certain things. Climate change. We got to stop this climate change.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
that's the latest.
That's the killer right there.
Well, they're saying all this crop dusting that these planes are doing with the, God damn it, what are they calling it? The
Chemtrails.
chemtrail stuff is blocking the. God, I can't think of it. I'm sorry.
The sun.
It's screwing up the atmosphere. So
They're trying to
solar-
manipulate the weather.
Yeah.
Well, how much truth is it to that? Or is that's
Don't
an
know. It
agenda?
depends
It
on
to
who
get
you
rid of?
talk to.
it depends on who you ask
Well-
and what that person believes.
Well, it's a fossil fuel
Well, not
burning
necessarily. They
aircraft.
could be dumping chromium.
No, you start with the root thing. It's like, okay, you got a piston engine plane flying in through the air, so that's clogging up everything.
So he's skywriting
then-
dirty words.
Yeah,
with
he's
his
he's
chemtrail
doing
stuff.
like a big fuck you, and coming out for another swoop with the chemicals,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
entirely-
it's like,
if you listen to Lionel from Lionel Nation, that's exactly what he talks about them doing. Is they're
Yeah.
putting all kinds of bullshit in the air.
yeah,
I
but
don't- I
it's
don't
like
know.
it's
I don't know. It's possible, and HARP is possible. The HARP can ionize the troposphere. And
here's the thing: is if they got rid of all of the we're going to get rid of pesticides, do it. You're going to have a lot of bugs. You're going
they
to have to
have
deal
really
with.
big bugs.
You're going to have really big bugs, and it's going to take a decade or so for it to actually reset to where it's balanced out again. You can't just, we're going to stop this one day and it's going to be done. Well, we'll be down to zero, whatever your scale is.
Attack
We'll be down
of
to
the
zero in a
spider.
week. No, it doesn't fucking work that way. I mean, it didn't get there overnight. It doesn't get fixed overnight. So don't even think about trying to.
And this is why you need to have enough preparation
Correct.
to
H.
not have to worry
Enough
about
preparation. H.
to not have to worry about things being grown in the today. You need stuff already on your shelves to last you however long you think it may take, if that is the scenario, to outlast the regeneration time. right? So if they
Correct.
go and they put all of this crap out there, and it's going to be X amount of time before, the earth becomes viable for growing stuff, you need to have enough in your storage to get to that point.
And when I started looking into it, I don't remember what YouTube it was channel, but it was like, you're not prepared. Nobody's prepared when they start off doing anything. I mean, nobody's got anything. So just focus on the 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. That you start with the days, then you work. Once you got that down, then you work on up.
Well, there are sites out there where you can go look and see what things like how much rice do you need to last
Right.
a year. And, the general consensus is 300 pounds of rice per person per year. For a year's worth of rice, it's 300 pounds. And if you just want to figure out by the month, then, of course, divide by 12, right? And that'll tell you what a month's worth of. And this, with beans, it tells you how many beans you need per person per year, how many pounds of, flour, rice, beans, salt, sugar, all this stuff. And you can survive. And it doesn't take a whole lot. It really doesn't take a whole lot of room. And it doesn't take a whole lot of resources. If you store it in bulk, get your 5-gallon buckets with your gamma lids, yada, yada,
It's
yada.
not overwhelming once you start.
It's really not that overwhelming.
Once you just start getting, okay, I'm just going to focus on, okay, I'm going to buy a bunch of salt. You can pick and choose and fill it up, and you're like, oh, that's all it is. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
And you just have it right there.
And have ways where you can grow some stuff in a protected environment. Hydroponics is a wonderful thing you can do indoors, and it doesn't take that much, and you can have a lot of fresh vegetables and things of that nature, herbs, and get that fresh stuff when all of the other dried stuff doesn't work anymore.
It'll definitely make your life a little bit more pleasant than if you didn't have it.
Sure. And the only other critical thing is your water. So there you go.
Unless you're really big on pooping.
Unless you're really big on pooping.
Yeah, you drink bad water, you get your bad poops.
Well, it'll help clean you out.
Yeah,
Your bowels
That-
been excavated.
You just got to know when to shut that off.
You got to slim down.
You just got to
Then
know
you-
when you had to.
Then you
how
don't need to
control
eat
that.
as much, so it makes your food last longer. If you can't get a lap band around there, just wrap a big tight thing around get that goidle. Get your goidle.
To
And
make
you can
it
only eat so much. You're just
girthy.
like, oh.
right.
And it will also help squeeze it out.
No.
No?
No.
I think I think the other scenario in this is going to have to.
The space aliens when they're eating you for food.
Yeah, probably.
How to
But-
prepare man. It's a cookbook.
No, it's like because
To bury them in the ground.
here's
How to
Until they
serve,
cure.
how to
here's
serve
the
man.
here's the thing is like, there's going to be a lot of unprepared, bloodthirsty, hungry as shit, crazy people.
Yeah, and if they come to my house, there's going to be that many less.
Right.
They're going to die.
Yeah,
with
but
an
the thing
empty
is that is one of those things that people are going to have to deal with, depending on where you're at geographically and how you're set up. And I'm not talking about necessarily us, but I'm talking about anybody else. That you got to have, you got a big house, and it's sitting up on a hill. Guess where people are coming? They're coming
Right.
up to your house on the hill. So you better have another
Depends
space.
on what it looks like. If it looks like Sanford and Sons, they'll probably just leave you alone.
Looks like Adam's family.
If they're, but I wouldn't. These crazy.
Well, here's what I know. If they come to my house, all I know is I have a tractor with a backhoe, and I have suddenly acquired compost material.
Yep.
Yeah.
Compostable.
Yeah, 6-8 months. I got some wonderful topsoil.
Make some great potatoes. I'm with you.
Hey, you saw the
Reed Brothers.